Good afternoon and happy Monday to you. Welcome to Take a Moment, where we take a moment to be in the presence of God and with one another to breathe in the peace of Christ in practices that offer hope and assurance throughout your week. Welcome to those of you who are watching us live, and welcome to those of you who might be watching us after our live posting. We welcome your comments, ideas, and suggestions, and so thankful that you are here today joining me. As we get started today, I want to say hello to Jacqueline and to Shelby. Thank you for joining us, and to invite all of you who are watching to our new series at Flower Mound United Methodist Church, which will actually start this Sunday, called Soul Reset. We'll be talking about the soul reset of body, mind, soul, and spirit in practices of eating, resting, playing, and praying. And so we'd love for you to join us on Sunday mornings. I'll be continuing to do these take a moments throughout the month of September as a way to kind of connect the practices that we'll be doing and the scriptures that we'll be focusing on Sunday morning with our practices on Monday afternoon. So hope that you will join us for that. And welcome to Sherry, who's also joined us today. Our practice today is going to be based on Philippians chapter 4. So I'm going to begin our time together by reading from chapter 4 of Philippians, verse 8. From now on, brothers and sisters, if anything is excellent, and if anything is admirable, focus your thoughts on these things. All that is true, all that is holy, all that is just, all that is pure, all that is lovely, all that is worthy of praise. Practice these things. Whatever you learned, received, heard, or saw in us, the God of peace will be with you. And so as we are taking a moment today, I would like us to enter into the practice of thinking about these things that Philippians 4 reminds us bring the peace of God, not only to us, but to those that we encounter, because that's what it means to share the peace of Christ, doesn't it? And so as we are gathering together, I want to invite you to take a moment to light a candle, perhaps even lock the door if you need to, just to have the time to express your emotions as they may come in the privacy of your own home. And as we take a moment today, what we're going to be inviting you to do is to calm your spirit, your mind, and your soul in the practice of recognizing feelings of anxiety. Because until we recognize what makes us anxious, it is difficult to bring the peace of Christ into that. So I'm going to read again some of the words that Philippians reminds us of. Things that are excellent, admirable, true, holy, just, pure, lovely, and all that is worthy of praise. When Philippians asks us to practice these things, I want to invite you to think about the practice of what it means to be true, holy, just, pure, lovely, and things worthy of praise. Those seem to be far and few between in this world, don't they? But I'd like you to just take a moment to create an image of those things. What does that look like? What colors are involved? What does that feel like? What does it evoke in you in a feeling? How does your body respond when you think about all of those words? Do you relax? Are you able to breathe in deeply? And what does it even smell like? Is it a sweet smell? Is it a smell of comfort that you feel? Whatever is true, holy, just, pure, lovely, and worthy of praise. Take a moment to imagine, to breathe, and to feel what that is. Now I'm going to ask you to place your hands over your heart or your chest and hold that there. And let yourself just take that in. To breathe that, to own that, to feel that, to experience the smell, touch, feel, and sight of what those words look like. And as you hold that, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and to think about your day yesterday. Your day yesterday. And I'm going to ask you to think about a moment in your day that perhaps brought you anxiety. Anxiety, nervousness, perhaps even fear. As you heard or saw or experienced that situation yesterday and had that moment of anxiety, I want you to take a moment to breathe in what you have owned of what is true, holy, just, pure, lovely, and worthy of praise. I want to invite you to take that image of what is true and holy and just and lovely and worthy of praise and place it into that situation of anxiety. And imagine God's presence taking over that situation, covering it, if you will, and what you and God together are offering. Breathe that in as the breath of God in a threefold way, covering that over. Once for the presence of the Father, once for the presence of the Son, and again for the presence of the Holy Spirit. That situation of anxiety that you experienced yesterday was covered over in the presence of God. As you together were a co-creator with God in that moment to cover that situation in focusing your thoughts on what was true, holy, just, pure, lovely, and worthy of praise. Now, this is a practice that you can do anytime that you are experiencing a moment of anxiety. To take that image, the thought, the feel, the smell of whatever that is that you hold close to you. And when you have a moment of anxiety, to breathe that in. Breathe that in and out into that moment of anxiety. Let yourself own what is holy and pure and true and just and lovely and worthy of praise, and to breathe that out into your moment of anxiety. To take that moment of anxiety and to transform your mind through the presence of God by thinking on these things. You see, we are bearers of the good news of Jesus Christ. And what that means is that we take the power of our minds and our souls and our spirits, and we are able to transform any situation of anxiety by breathing the peace of God into it. And so I invite us together to think of a moment, or imagine that moment, of breathing that peace as a way to be a co-creator with God. And so as we conclude our time together today, let us take a moment for that practice, to imagine taking this image that we have that Philippians 4 has reminded us of. I invite you to read those words over and over again this week, and to breathe that peace into your life in any situation of anxiety that may come. Shall we breathe together as we conclude in a prayer time of inviting the Trinity into our day? Once for the presence of God our Creator, once for God who is our Redeemer, and once again for the presence of God our Sustainer. Breathe peace, my friends, and thank you so much for joining us today for Take a Moment. Blessings of peace upon you and yours all week long. Amen.